All right, let's talk about it. For years, the NBA's biggest party weekend, it kind of felt like it was running on fumes, right? But then, in 2026, something totally unexpected happened. One weekend in LA somehow managed to reignite a fire that honestly a lot of us thought had gone out for good. I mean, let's just be real for a second. The main problem with the league's big mid-season showcase wasn't exactly a secret. The main event, the All-Star Game itself, had become, well, kind of a joke to a lot of people. It was just a glorified shoot-around with absolutely zero defense and maybe even less effort. You know the feeling. Fans were over it, the critics were trashing it every year, and you just got the sense that even the players were just going through the motions. The stakes were completely gone, and when the stakes go, so does the excitement. It was a showcase that wasn't really showcasing anything. But this year, a new variable got tossed into the mix. A player so intensely competitive that he just couldn't turn it off, not even for an exhibition game. And believe me, that changed everything. So this brings us to our first big point. The solution wasn't some new rule or a big cash prize. Nope, it was the raw, unfiltered passion of the league's next generation of superstars. And it was all led by one very tall, very intense rookie. Okay, you have to appreciate the context of this quote. This is not from Game 7 of the finals. This is Victor Wembanyama literally fuming after a loss in an All-Star game because of a blown defensive assignment. He was genuinely upset. When was the last time you heard anyone call an All-Star loss disappointing? And you could see it. All you had to do was watch him stomping off the court, muttering to himself. This wasn't some act for the cameras. He was playing hard. He was arguing calls. He was showing real, actual emotion. And that kind of intensity, it's infectious. You could just feel the whole vibe of the event start to shift. And Wembanyama's competitive fire lit a spark in the guy who would end up being the weekend's MVP, Anthony Edwards. Ants even said that Wemby's huge presence motivated him to actually show up because he was terrified of getting shown up himself. All of a sudden, players were on high alert. This wasn't a vacation anymore. And this right here just perfectly captures the difference. Coach JB Bickerstaff, who was around these young guys all weekend, he absolutely nailed it. For this new generation, the game is just pure joy. It's not an obligation, it's a passion. And that passion was exactly what the All-Star Game was missing. But the passion wasn't just in the Sunday game, oh no. Saturday night gave us one of the most powerful stories of the entire weekend. A story of pure perseverance and the incredible return of legend. Just think about this for a second. Last season, we all watched Damian Lillard clutch his torn Achilles in the playoffs. I mean, one of the most brutal injuries in sports. This weekend, he's not even able to fully sprint yet, but he still enters the three-point contest. And what happens? The man goes out and wins the whole thing? It was just this incredible moment of resilience. So inspiring, in fact, that it made the greatest shooter of all time, Steph Curry, say, "Yep, I'm in for next year." And here's the crucial part. Lillard got it. He understood the moment perfectly. He knew that his fight, his being there, it wasn't just for him. It was for all the fans who remember what it felt like to be excited for All-Star Saturday night. He single-handedly brought meaning back to that contest. Now, while the action on the court was buzzing with all this competitive fire, behind the scenes, Commissioner Adam Silver was tackling a completely different challenge. The problem of teams that, well, don't want to compete at all. So for anybody who's not totally clear, tanking is pretty much what it sounds like, strategic losing. Teams will intentionally put a worse team on the floor to rack up losses because they're hoping it'll give them a better shot at a top pick in the draft. And the league is taking this very, very seriously. Commissioner Silver did not mince words, calling the whole practice a scourge on the NBA. I mean, think about it. When maybe a third of the league is actively trying to lose, it really messes with the integrity of the whole competition. So what's the game plan? Well, the league is kicking around some pretty serious options. We're talking about massive fines, maybe even taking away the very draft picks these teams are tanking for in the first place, and even some wild ideas like setting the lottery odds way earlier in the season to take away that incentive to lose at the end. And if you want to know what the league really thinks will work, one high-ranking official put it as bluntly as possible. You hurt them in the pocketbook. Yeah, the idea of holding back a team's share of league revenue is actually on the table. That's a financial hit so big, it could force teams to completely rethink their strategy. So, let's bring this all back home. After years of just blah, we finally got an all-star weekend that felt truly important. And it wasn't because of some new format or gimmick, it was because of something way more fundamental. Here's the ultimate takeaway from all this. The solution came from within. It was Wembanyama's rookie fire. It was Anthony Edwards' competitive joy. And it was Damian Lillard's veteran heart. No amount of money or rule changes could have manufactured that. The players themselves decided this game mattered. And that, right there, made all the difference. And that leaves us with a big question moving forward. This one incredible weekend proved that the spirit of competition can still light up the league's biggest showcase. But was this just a fluke? Or has a new standard finally been set? The fire is back, for sure. But the real test for the NBA is figuring out how to keep it from going out again.